Thank you very much. Welcome to Liga Mates. Share the program for us. Good morning to you, man of God. Mr. Joe Walaba. Good morning to you. And a happy new year to you. Shedding. As soon as you join us, share the program for us. Let's spread the education. Let's spread the information. Let's equip ourselves. Like Kwaji Agri once said, if you educate a man, you educate the individual. If you educate a woman, you educate the nation. Let's educate the nation by sharing the program for us. Mr. Evaluation, see the #1 lawyer in the world. That is Justice and Law Solicitors. Regardless of what you are going through in terms of immigration and nationality, hey, there's always going to be a way. The key is never give up. Keep fighting. Be a soldier. Never give up. Forward ever. Backwards never. So join us and share the program for us. Do your bit. Do your best. And share the program for us. I am sharing the program to help you spread the word. Se me hu se obi hu ochire na eye me se me mo no na menye die meye bia emo sa edipa no enso papa nyina papa wa ye nyina achi enso so no na edipa beto na asrobo na ewiase so de mema de enipa beka emu wa bamu da se odi bibisi oni so be ya mo bia. Don't stop, do it. At the end of the day, believe in me, there is always a price for everything that we do. So Sanjum Way dear, me boy nature say it's a very inspirational song, and it really motivates me and it encourages me, and I want to do more to help my community. Kwajo fosu yanto aso.
Yeah.
share program na my Joy Scooby, maybe I will be a church. Let's start our walk. Thank you very much for the referral. We appreciate that. As soon as you join us, you know the rules, you know the deal. Now let's watch the program on my head. Mr. John Bossy, the church baby will be around. Yes, today what do we have for you today? Today we are going to be looking at a quick summary about employment law and changes that are coming. And this is something that affects everyone and anyone who is in the United Kingdom and is in employment. So it's not only about immigration that justice and law we come here to chat about, but we look at anything and everything that we believe will be important or will affect your daily lives. So today we are bringing you a bit of employment law update, things that you should be watching out for this year, and also your rights and also increases that the government is bringing up in terms of minimum wage, living wage, and so on and so forth. You know, because the reality is that if you are not aware of this information and your employer, for example, decide, or at least your employer is ignorant of this, and your employer does not, increase your wages, then you can take it to your employer and say, look, there is an increase and therefore I expect the same increase to reflect on my wages. I think it's a legitimate question, but if you don't have the information, how would you know to go to your employer and plead your case? So I say to you, we're going to do the best that we can and bring you all the legal updates. And also, if you have not subscribed to our TikTok channel, then go there and subscribe, because all the updates I say, we go bring you the update through TikTok as well. So any chance that we get straight away, we will try and bring that information to you, because my aim is to do the best that I can and bring you as much as I can, because like I say, education is infinity. Numbers never ends. That is education as well. Even if you know, you still have to be prepared to learn more and know more. That is what I say. Because the more you update yourself, the more knowledgeable you become. The more knowledgeable you become, the less you will suffer as a result of being lack of the knowledge. Because anywhere that you go, you may be able to have an idea as to, what situations are. Because now, for example, you are looking for work, you go to a workplace, and then what then happens? You go to a workplace and they start paying you, say, £8.50 per hour, and say you are age about 25, and you don't know that the minimum wage is supposed to be such and such and such. How would you be able to challenge it? You cannot challenge it because you don't know. You see, like one Jamaican old man said, there is a difference between knowing something and believing in something. If you believe in something, that means there is a little bit of doubt. There's an element of doubt in it. But when you know something, it's a fact. And a fact cannot change. When we say 1 + 1 is 2, it's a universal fact. Wherever you go, ask anyone 1 + 1. They might tell you that is 2. And anyone who says anything more than 2 or less than 2 will be perceived to be wrong. So a fact is a fact, and knowing something is different from believing in something. If you believe in something, that means there is a question mark. So for example, you cannot say that I believe that A is my mother. I believe that C is my mother. But what you say is that I know that A is my mother because it's a fact which can be proved by DNA. Biology will prove that. But when you say, I believe that this is my mother, that means you don't know it, and therefore there is a doubt in that. So for me, it's important that we get to learn and know. Once we know it, it becomes a fact. You know, so it's very, very important that we equip ourselves with knowledge, because knowledge is power, but the application of that knowledge is powerful. Knowledge is powerful, and anyone with a knowledge is not fit to be a slave. So it's for that reason that we need to equip ourselves. You know, back in the days, people fight with guns and, you know, ammunitions, swords, you know, spears and arrows. But right now, we don't fight with them things. We fight with knowledge, intelligence, information technology. Now we fight with knowledge, and therefore it's important by sharing this program, by passing it to your brother, you are giving your brother ammunition, a tool to use for his own betterment. You know, so it's very, very important that you and I, we share the program as much as we can, because by not sharing it, you are denying your brother, your sister, your loved one, the opportunity to acquire knowledge from justice and law solicitors. I'm not here to say that I have autonomy over knowledge or wisdom, but this is a program that people call in and contribute one way or the other. And through that, we can learn from each other. And that will make us better people, better individuals, and more knowledgeable. Because like I say, knowledge is power. The application of the knowledge makes one powerful. When you are knowledgeable, the possibility of being scammed, the possibility of being manipulated, the possibility of being controlled by another human being reduces significantly. So today, we are going to share knowledge. We are going to give it out. And I hope and believe by the time we finish with this program, your life will never be the same, because what we're going to learn today, it affects everyone. And the more you share, the more you spread. Sharing is caring. It makes no sense if you acquire the knowledge to yourself and your brother man and your sister is suffering as a result of lack of knowledge. Like the scripture says, my people will do what? Perish for lack of knowledge. So it's very, very important that we help our brother men and sister to also to educate themselves in some way. Because at the end of the day, like I say, knowledge is powerful. The application of knowledge is even more powerful. So let's educate the people, let's educate ourselves, and we can do that by spreading the news, getting people to listen to programs like educative programs like this, so that we can improve our living condition, so that we can improve from the mental slavery that some of us, we have been entrapped in. So that we can see the light and move from darkness and shadows of darkness. And the more we learn, the more we can build better of ourselves. Everyone is individual, everyone is different, but every day my prayer is the Lord Almighty God, if you exist, make me better today than yesterday. So today, I am bringing to you employment law update, and we are going to be looking at visitors visa application. I was speaking to this person this week, and the person told me that he's done about 5 applications. Every time it gets refused. For whatever reason, this person is giving glory to the fallen angel called Lucifer. This person is trying to link the refusal of his visas to witchcraft and juju. I watch him quietly and I ask myself, why would someone feel this way? I try not to be judgmental, but unfortunately, as human beings, we are always going to judge according to what is presented to us. It may be wrong, it may be right, depending on your views about life. And whether we like it or not, we all judge one another. We can see someone and straight away we make a judgment call. Sometimes it's favorable, sometimes it is not. The question is, in this particular case, can you really associate this with juju and witchcraft? I told him I don't believe that. Whilst there may be witches and so on and so forth, I try to be as practical as I can. I try to be as practical as I can, and I try to be realistic as I can. Because it's not everything that you have to give glory to the fallen angel called Lucifer. Because I have acquired some knowledge that makes me dispel of that myth. But when someone is in certain state of mind and certain belief system, everything and anything will be equated to witchcraft and Lucifer. You know, so personally, I don't believe in that. I sat the person down and we went through all the 5 refusal letters. And I was able to explain to him why his application all the time is getting refused. And I'm doing this program today purposely because of him. And I've told him to listen to the program. Because for me, it's important that he understands why he's being refused. Rather than trying to blame something else or blame someone else. It is cheap and it's very easy to blame people for our own shortfalls or shortcomings. So if, for example, you want to become a lawyer and you are unable to do it because you are not capable, don't blame your mother, don't blame your father, don't blame your uncle, don't blame anyone. You need to look within and say to yourself, where did I go wrong? What is it that I could have done better? What is it that I need to do to get from A to B? Because it's very easy to blame someone else for your own shortcomings. So it's very, very important that we take something called responsibility for something that we do and for something that we don't. It's crucial. It's very, very easy to point the fingers. Like Jamaica, they say, when you point one finger, the other 4 is doing what? Pointing at you. So this is the point that once you start doing this, you ask yourself, okay, I can put a blame on such a person because of this. What about the other 4? What else that I could have done to offset what the person did do or did not do that is stopping me or preventing me from achieving my goal? It's very, very important. So I sat this person down and I said, okay, fair enough. You have your belief system. If you want to blame someone, blame the person all that you want. But it's not going to change your destiny. It's not going to get you the visa. So instead, let's use the energy positively. Right now, you are full of negative energy, you see. You need to convert the negativity into positive. And then through that, you'll be able to achieve your objective. That is to get the UK visa and come to the UK and visit the relatives that you are fighting to come and see. So I sat the person down. I went through the refusal letter point by point. One thing that people have to be conscious of, Home Office, they speak proverbs all the time. When you look at refusal letters, they will not go straight to the point. Sometimes they will dance around. Sometimes you may not be familiar with their language. So if you are a lay person and they say certain things, your interpretation of it is different from how Lawyer Dark of Justice and Law Solicitors, how I may interpret it. So sometimes you see Home Office to say that based on the information that we have, we are not convinced that you are a genuine visitor. And then people will say that, but I don't understand. What do they mean by genuine visitor? When the Home Office say, we are not convinced that you are a genuine visitor, I understand what that means. When it is not your language, so you will not understand. Sometimes people feel like you don't need a lawyer to do these applications. But those who have gone and they have been refused, and they run to Lawyer Dark and they succeed, they will testify to you that, my friend, do not think you know it all. Because that is the reason why we have division of labor. The job that you do, I may not be able to do it because it's not my chosen profession. The job that I do, you may have an idea, but with the update and everything that is going on, you may try and you will not succeed. Justice and Law, we are there to help people who need our help. You come to us, we do the best that we can, and also to help you. So after going through with this gentleman, he has come to the conclusion that I am right. It's got nothing to do with the fallen angel called Lucifer. It's got nothing to do with juju. It's got nothing to do with nobody but himself. Because he lacked the knowledge. And as a result, he went the first time and they said that we don't believe that you are a genuine visitor. Based on the evidence presented. They then went through, give some a bit of justifications. So refusal letters are full of coded words, which requires a specialist interpretation. It's just that the scriptures, when Pharaoh had a dream, in the end, he could not understand the dream, but he had to get someone who understands dream interpretation. Sometimes when you think you know, you may not have idea at all. The rules of interpretation will tell you that we have the literal approach. The literal approach is just looking at the words used and find its meaning from how it is written literally. So what it says is what it is. So for example, if someone says the sky is gray today, it does not mean that the sky is gray, but the person is trying to tell you that the sun is not coming out. So sometimes that is how it is. Words, proverbs, figures of speech. Someone said it's going to be a blast. That does not mean that there's going to be a lightning or a bomb, but there's going to be excitement. So the same way that Home Office talk, When you look at refusal letters, they will use certain words, certain phrases. And if you don't work within the field, if you are not trained, you may not understand. So this person went first time, boom, application was not successful. He went second time, boom, not successful. Third time, boom, not successful. Fourth time, boom, not successful. Fifth time, boom. I said, no, this one, dear, it be juju. This one, dear, it be witchcraft. This one, dear, me fear for the MPB. I don't think so. So sometimes you have to be realistic. Let's look at what we are doing wrong. Personally, if I succeed, I'm grateful for people who contribute. But majority will come from you. Because as much as people may want you to succeed, if you don't want to succeed, you will never succeed. As much as people want you to fail, if you don't want to fail, you will never fail. Because it's just like grapes. Before it can become wine, it needs to be crushed. It needs to be destroyed. Just like seeds. Before it germinates, it's got to rot on the ground. And then new plants will what? Will spring up. And the new life will begin. So if you are down, your application get rejected, getting refused, all that I say to you is this: keep fighting, never give up. Come to Justice and Law. We will do the best that we can and help you to succeed. Say, oh, but Justice and Law. Now say, ubi ede emura egu adwinima. Be very careful. One kasa, listen to your heart. Listen to your head. And make rational decisions for yourself. It's very, very important. Because we keep getting this almost every week. Where we have helped people. It comes to extension or other applications. For one reason or the other, they will decide to try somewhere else. And then they go and mess themselves up. And then they will come back to Justice and Law again. And then when you ask them, what happened? Say, oh, yeah, Bama, or say, yeah, meow. Me getting the force of me saying, no, you be going to young corner, you're quite ready, or could say me case. Say, your boss was what? Lawyer, yeah, meow, me clean the force of me saying, baby. Me personally, I don't believe in that. Because I believe, say, if we are say, sebe, abrucheni ya wano. Say, obedi 18 pa, unti minchira obadi wanye. Name of you can try and influence your child. As a funny say, a bebo. And Chebesha mupi. And penny forecasting be said, come for Bonnie. What tina yare for him. Emma come for Papa. Ebeto no. Yenye na bro. Ebisbeka se yeni na bro. Na sebe. Aponchirani anasa apotro. Se wose obema bafanya aduru a, se dia obeye bafanya. Ono ankasa no. Hwe baby a wote, hwe ne pa, hwe ne sisi. Ojina ho. Okoto no. Se coach amansa ese so betimi adware ama ne ho nsesaye apepa afiri ho no ma. Enye ne kore. Enti eye very important. Ese baby a wakwa age wo no. You remain loyal. Because we are that from 2013, 2023. Medi ensie akantam. Ese obi ko no ko sei na. Oba no sympathy. Eye adwuma ne ye. Ye sika de ebeje. De wose ye je no ye beje. De adwuma no so no ye besa ya ama no. And ye misrebeka. Because Adam repi no enipa no ko baabi. Now, if you fee 1 point be charge, the person is happy to pay £2 there. Now, of course, you could do it and send us a semi case. Or bar. Now, so you see emotion, you know, the blackmailing justice and law solicitors. Oh, lawyer one. Oh, now lawyer Yamin Shaw. Oh, boy, community power. We dear Miss Recao. Now we dear watching me. And I'm a called Momoji Miss Capao. And I'm Zika Quacosim. And I'm a crata, so I say, until lawyer radio. But in Yanko Podim Power Chow, no, you see Yamidin, no, they blackmail you. Yamidin, no, you see emotional terms. Now, I feel no person or get it into your head. Now, if you will control again. In the past, yes, we have fought for it. But say dear, and you'll be the entry, and a deal with it, a coy again, a coya chamber. Say, if I don't say now, a human heading. Because damages, I feel never be repair damage, The repair damage in we are, and send it to me as I build the case, Into a bad sana, a human heading, a human society, time, and right, yes, send where human and no, na, yes, so you're the charging. It is necessary. Mamma could you mistaken answer. Anu akase mihu yanka so dear na chese aye too late empenyum say ye pa e be hunu nti ana ye kire boa na aduro bejewa eye atreba akopɛ de bejewa enye aduro ni nyina de bejewa enti no yanko dwumadie ni so den yes starting with employment you na fi ye call entry clearance application for visitors application. On the 8th of May, 2023, there is going to be an additional bank holiday on Monday, the 8th of May, following King Charles III coronation on Saturday, 6th of May. And to Ohini Kromuano, Ohini Charles, the coronation, as he say officially, Obabeye, the King of England, no Saturday the 6th of May. Now every Saturday Abino I declare public holiday on the 8th of May. And it is a way juma bi na say holiday bi a way juma and as a public holiday bi a juma na say e twa wo double. Mema wo remfi ese oye adwuma 8th of May ese ye twa double. Se twa time and half so mo ani nko ho e bia na wadwena ama ho. Your employer may not be aware or your employer may forget. So you need to check it out and remind them. Back in the days, I never used to joke of public holidays. Every public holiday I would go to work because I was getting 2 times my pay plus 1 day off. So for me, it was one of the best lucrative deals that I was always looking out for. Because those days, Mr. Hustleman, the hustling was tough. And therefore, you have to use this strategy to increase your wages as much as you can. And also to build your holiday period as much as you can. So technically, if you work on those days, bank holidays, you are getting paid 3 times. Because they will pay you for the hours that you do. And on top of that, they will also pay you for double time. And also you have another bank holiday. Another holiday added to your holidays that you may have for the year. So for me, it was good. Secondly, from 2nd of April 2023, statutory maternity, adoption, paternity, shared parental and sick pay will rise. Now, statutory maternity, adoption, paternity, and shared parental pay rises will increase from 156.66 pence to 172.48 pence a week. So if you look at it, roughly, there is an increase of just over £20. So you have to be aware of this as well, because it's not every employer who may remember this. Also on this date, statutory sick pay will rise from £99.35 to £109.40 per week. So this one too, you have to be aware of. That is sick pay. That's statutory sick pay from £99.35 to £109.40 per week. So you have to be aware of this. From 1st of April 2023, national living and minimum wage will also increase. Those workers aged over 23 will have to be paid £10.42 an hour for national living wage. Workers aged 21 to 22 will be paid £10.18 per hour. Development rate for workers aged 18 to 20 have to be paid $7.49 per hour. Young workers rate for workers aged 16 to 17 will be paid £5.28 per hour. And apprentice, those on apprenticeship, will earn £5.28 per hour. So this is the update, employment update that you all have to be aware of, and the time that are applicable to each rate of pay. So if your employer has not told you, then from now on, you have to watch out from April, the changes that are coming up. Now, we are going to be looking at entry clearance applications and why it is refused. It's very, very important. Entry clearance applications and why they are refused. After that, I will also look at how to successfully make a winning application. Sometimes people think it's that simple. It's that easy. All that you have to do is to put in the application and you'll be given it. Some people have that perception. But is that the case? That is not the case, and that will never be the case. It's important that we understand what they look for. So when you are making the applications, you can then do what? You can then check it out and see and do the best that you can and get it resolved that way. Now, let's look at this. When you are going to make an application to come to the UK to visit, this is covered by the immigration rules and appendix under the immigration rules, visitors route, appendix V for visitors. And when you read the rules, they appear very, very simple. The crucial part of the rules is what they call a genuine visitor. The rest of it tends to be self-explanatory. But the genuineness, whether the individual is coming for a visit for real, or whether the individual is using the visitor's route to get to the UK, and possibly work. So when they talk about genuine visitor, the Home Office or the entry clearance officer normally will ask himself 3 questions. And this is something that possibly, if you are the entry clearance officer, you may do the same. 3 questions. And I suspect, if you are the entry clearance officer, there is likelihood that possibly you will do the same. Just like how journalists are trained to be. Every journalist have it at the back of their minds. Who, where, what? The 3 W's. Who, where, what? Everything that you say, questions can be asked by using one of these 3 words. Who, where, what, when. So, entry clearance officer at the back office of her mind, and according to their training, they ask themselves, does the applicant intend to undertake permitted activities and leave at the end of their stay? That is intention. The entry clearance officer is asking himself, does A intend to undertake permitted activity and leave at the end of their stay in the United Kingdom? Do they have intention to leave? Would they abide by the terms of their visa? In simplistic terms. These are the first questions that the entry clearance will ask himself. And how will he answer this question? He will look at what you tell them on the application form, and they will also look at the evidence that you have presented. 2, they ask themselves whether they are satisfied that the individual will not be living in the UK or making the UK their main home through frequent and successive visits. So you come in for a visit. As soon as you come in, you told the entry clearance officer or the visa officer when you apply for the visa that I'm coming for only 2 weeks. You come in because you've been granted 6 months visa. You stay here for 2 months. After the 2 months, you leave and you go to, say, Cameroon. As soon as you're in Cameroon, within a week, you are returning back to the UK. At the airport, they ask themselves this question. Will this person, is he making the UK as if UK is his home? This is a question that they will ask themselves. Or you are applying for a visitor's visa. How long are you coming to stay in the United Kingdom? You say 6 months. They ask you, what job do you do? Would your employer actually give you 6 months off just to come for a holiday? The entry clearance officer will start asking himself this question. Is it reasonable to expect someone who is so fit, who is in employment for 1 year, to be given 6 months leave to come and visit the United Kingdom? For what? These questions will be asked. Let's move forward. And lastly, the last one is, would they be doing any prohibited activity? Do they have sufficient funds, maintenance, and accommodation for the duration of their stay? So you say that you are coming to the UK to visit for maybe 4 months. How much money do you have? £100. Can £100 sustain you for 4 months in London? Me, I don't think so. So these are the questions, these are the realities, these are the fact checks that the entry clearance officer will be looking at. And the entry clearance officer will then ask himself, do I trust this person? Based on the evidence that the person has presented. You are bringing only £100 to the UK. You cannot survive on that money. By implication, it will appear to look as if the person may work, even though the visa says that the person must not work. So these are the realities that we need to be aware of. We need to be conscious about, because at the end of the day, there is no juju in this. This is science. You know, this is something that we ought to be aware, because the evidence that you present, you see, are the same evidence that can do or undo you. Sometimes people say that the more evidence that you present, the stronger your case is. Sometimes the more evidence that you present, the weaker your case is. So it's not about the volume of the documents that you will present, but its probative value, its importance, how strong it is. So for example, if you have 5 banks and you collect bank statement for all the 5 banks, and your balance in each bank account is say £100. How much do you have in there if you have 5 bank accounts? £500. Maybe, Lawyer Darko, I have only 1 bank account, but my bank balance is maybe £50,000. So which of the two do you think the entry clearance officer will respect and respond positively? So it's very, very important. It is not how hard a dog will bark, but it's the braveness in the dog. The dog's ability to protect and attack when they need be. That is what counts. And nunti na ochosa meche say. Sebe odwan a wote ase no. Ne so won faso say jata wawuo. Enti the evidence must have probative value. It must prove something. It's not just evidence, but the probative value. How important, how strong the evidence is. That is what you have to use to work. So, finances, individual finances. Most of the refusal letters that come before me play a key role. And the sad thing is, the applicant will say that he will fund the trip, the cost of the trip himself. And then he may present a bank statement to evidence the funds in which he will be able to use to meet the cost of the travel. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the problem that a lot of people have is that monies will be put into the account, but they don't account for where the money is coming from. And as a result, the individual's financial circumstances becomes a problem. Sometimes they look at incomes flying into the account. The individual doesn't explain where those monies are coming from. So it's very, very important that you go through your bank statements and account for any substantial amount that has been put into your account by way of cash. And if possible, the person who did the deposit, you need something from the person to explain why he would deposit such amount into your account. So if, for example, you are a businessman and you sell products, people pay you by cash, and sometimes they go and deposit cash into your account. If you're a businessman and someone dumped maybe 20,000 cedis into your account, and you say that it is a business transaction, then bring evidence to support that. If it's an invoice, so be it. Receipts that you have issued for the payment, add it up and explain. Now, if you use 6 months bank statement, sometimes they say that, well, we can't trace the source of the original funds. If that is the case, go back 1 year, sometimes 2 years, to cement that problem so that you can resolve it. It's very, very important that we understand this. The next thing is when the entry clearance officer says that he is not satisfied that the individual will return to his home country. it's very, very important that you bring evidence to show that yes, you will go back because you got something going on back home. You are doing something. You have a family there. You have a house. You have a car. You have things over there. It's very, very important. So once again, you need to be aware of this. Maybe travel history. If you have traveled to other countries, bring it up. Tell them, when I went here, I went back. When I went here, I came back. When I went there, I came back. So that they will have trust in you, that when you come, you will go back. Sufficient funds. Make sure that you have sufficient money into your account to prove that, you can pay for the visit. And also, make sure that there's sufficient amount of money left in your account from your savings. Because if, for example, you have managed to save about, say, £5,000, and you say that I'm coming to spend all my savings in the United Kingdom on the 2 weeks holidays, straight away, the entry clearance officer becomes suspicious. And as a result, they may refuse your application. If you have previous connection and contacts with immigration, even if it's refused, I'll bring it up and address the concerns in those refusal letters. It's very, very important. So it brings about where the immigration officer will deem that you are a genuine person and may have impact on how he makes his decision. So it's important that we are aware of these things. It's just gone past 12. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we will continue the program. Let's go to our sponsors, and when we come back, we will continue. I'm gonna get maybe some water to drink and then prepare for the second part of the program. Today, 1 o'clock, we are going.
Megaphone, Uyamaka, wow, would die papa be our Ghana, and so a number of cry Asantino, who send ya, who bet my Missika, say, see what you mount. It's in a paradise city. You did this beautiful ultramodern city, Upper Tema, Community 25, Whoop standard, executive, semi-executive quality buildings. Any paradise city, you will come out. It's as a dear brochure about Ghana, your payment terms, no so, and a phone book call, who penny self finance. And as a mortgage, Paradise City. Oh, your telephone numbers, UK +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Ye Jumapa, Amagana, Yefe Ankasa.
Party na last over family ko abaya bi ko shia nsa ba nse nya ni grata ma no and I get it you na we shia be ma party asi ya so nya grata ma I'm so big bop ni me de me lo ya we di ya wasa bom bi mo be fi kese mfu kote to ko ni
ajawo
ko unye da unye le bop no ya ko ma etu
Lana majira fete abom na dada na mpezum bebi.
What you akuma ni nyina AFD ho because if you can see him for.
Na ade moti ha mo ho ntwa na mo da so TV hai.
Now you only me kan jiro. E na wunye so koyen data mo bi o. Me dem so oyo okekura.
Yo meslemo pi ewi ase de obi en ho chi for asem pakodo. Enemre mu so de obi en ho betena ho amma ta bada ho so owon kame. Enu ntimi sira wo se banka ta asem kwan de a. Na se wuni krata wo krom ha na wunya nkrata. Mesira wo adwuma ba ko pe e na mekan for amount. Enu ane justice and law solicitors. Lawyer ye fe no obenda ku David eho e na owo. Never immigration sem landlords and tenants family legal documents civil litigation, wills, and employment issues. Nina, papa, odi hujuma, oh, na Mr. Mababa to Mune, America, Monfa Mama Bosomo, Tom.
Nana, okay, a papa, to me, I come to call you now, my said, you'll be a Jew, sick around Besso, which I know within your point.
Nina, lawyer Benda, could in hujuma, Nani, I may can't, I want to say, why you talk of China, Mudia. So I just was a next on you, papa, only inside in Francia.
But I have an answer also.
Yo, me pacho, Obehu, Justice and Law for a War, Unit 35, Eurolink Business Center, 49 FR Road, Preston, SW2 1BZ. Now the telephone number is 020-7738-5841. And I say the mobile number 075-3896-9589. Miss Snow, and then they said the migration for senior blue Krumhano. Share and one travel armor and for are now quiet. It's the free no code found cat as Equidine Justice and Law Solicitors.
Hey, Ojam, also since you want the way you are on idea, see, I feel my idea about coffee.
And if she Penisi will finance Alcofa Yinchi. And I'm saying, lawyer Benda, a fatun horses or what young Ghana 40 wunti. Memne de be a free and a pedubako, a couple, a riadonko, lawyer Exna, a fidia, a fire life radio, so etc. Memrem Ewo, into a free memne da, a benjamin da cabian, for feeding to fire life radio, not see a lawyer and a Emremun Sem Ewo. Tifina radio, Justice and Law Solicitors, a near the
Amway, a company cashier. Omodini mapa abedjaso. Omoni many be a health product, beauty product, and a home care product. Omo health products ni be a vitamins and as a food supplement. Beauty products ni be and so omo enku and as a mana ebema wonam atoso really atoso sen no be no me. Omo home care products ni be samana edi huhuru kukuo mu ni edi twitwi adwaye and emu de wo pe bia no wo betimi anya bi ewo Amway se wo pe emu nsamatie ana se wo pe bia to a yesre se frɛ owura Emmanuel Eshon ewo 075 076 30487 075 076 30487 and also so say abelfo amansanten tan kese no so ubehunu o machira kwan ewo www.amway.co.uk/user/emish na ofre owura Emmanuel Eshon and also so say wotuns ansa ekọ amansanten tan kese no so wo website no so a omoni ubedin kita ho fefefe eno na owura Emmanuel Eshon beka to say and na online.
Yes, Amway segment in this
Amway a company
second segment that how to make a successful application for visitors application. Now this part the person be any key now hopefully no the better see not just be so kama you know. This is Mali. Bob Mali ono any ono na just keep me fit. So ya no pa no de mako training. You come we can say abadam for no. You know, at least 1 hour be every morning here. I have to do it. And then my brain to me uncle to me show now I seem to be the call for 1 hour so on your lie no. And you know, sana here. First no because dogs are man's best friend and I'm in TSC. I feel I'm at TSC. Sana ibiasi no. Sometimes in an echo. We be na one TSC and ya the TSC. But when time comes we be can't chill while get TSC. Yeah, see for mommy. David, Missy for me can't say that. Go down for me. Yeah. See for more. No, C4. C4 mommy. Well done. Tenacity. Fantastic. Now, let's see. Sekase obi eba, people are asking questions already. And mame enfanko local language, hopefully people will not be offended by this. Because a idea MSA Ghana for ADNya. And person me try na me explain in our local dialect. Said the proper understanding. There is a lot of confusion. And unfortunately, union be bremo and kind of crunch. Obeka asem no sugar coat no obeka asem no na wachia no enti wo so no be bibi na wa ma meka ne kure ni nya nchiro no yi bi afrim ukoyi mistake na akoyi bia na akofa ensem abra e wo mu se wote ohima krum na so ohini krum na se obusuani bi e wo fie a ebedrum rebi no na ebia pese abusuafo eye de eba ebesna wo na ekrum ososo de anase ewiase bibia yede mra na ye eniti na lawyer for ho ehia pa no eti lawyer for de omo ho ena lawyer da ko se wo frame na se wo nyame a me ma bunfu koso frame na bibia so ye mre wo ta so a wo sabe ka wodi enti de me cancel lawyer for ye ho na because of ye juma ye anase me in particular me juma me se me ka se me bie me phone atuma 24 hours obi be gina phone so na me kasa na sebe me so me hia time e ma me akasa me ho me aso so bo problem a e se bitimi fix it enti se me nam se me fixing go for problem how dey ba be fix it me dey enti no sometimes no I also have to make time for myself and fix my problems enti sometimes no aya na o free ya ana so person sakra ya aya na e dey kakra na embom obi obuko appointment a wo ba no enye den because that time no me say nipa na buko appointment anybody so ba no oba betwa consultation on kase nyame nhira because nyame nhira say do ya make no entwa the bills no nyame nhira kakra sika kakra na yekoye nim sa na tie odokra na ese ento dokra na ye to odoka kakra sika kakra ene ma ware so wo de kwa ware ni skeni wan ka beti onche obesa paki yako sana sana yile biase na tie enti no ofe no nya me ma na how too much cause na free and I say book appointment and come. Book appointment baby me. Amway. You see no ye hwehwema de no on paper ne nsa kwa. Ma me watching Amway product and no be na ye de abu nso ma ye bogu ye yem no. Walai. And we say that akon. My young na se bigina so a no afre Mr. Amway. Obe fix you up. Na so ko ani. Entisana etie. Entina, how does this work? Part 1. Visitors visa application. How to make a successful application. Now before somebody application, you need to consider yourself. Say, a dear passport to make it out. Do you need a visitor's visa to come to the UK now? That is something that you need to ask yourself. Now, Techie, happy birthday to you. Now take on behalf of Fire Life Radio, any justice and law. The person will free Amway. Now omumro product nibi. Leon kasi bichia. Why? Entino Mr. Amway, Mr. Shan or the number 2. And the number near 0750 763 0487. Offer Mr. Amway. Product omo 20 be different ones. Enti no obe sort of package amount enye den justice and law yen be fa ho ka why Allah walai. And thank you for your continuous support. Enti so be back for visit here e dey na ese wo ye so back for visit we kro mu a obi an stop ho obetimi aye application abase o ba visit. Now visit you will different types. But visit on what basis? Base be here now. And I say base ba besra obi. And I say ba as a tourist ba bene na ahwehwe promo na wasa akwa na. And I say ba as for business. And to visit, no, you with different types. And to as you're working it out, now you feel botaye, any in a so, person the back room. That is the first thing. Now you need to determine the purpose now. Botaye corner with the banner. The next question is say passport to be in the guitar. Because any beer or back room will be na I was a OJ visa. A bit more a visa free. But most countries are not visa free. And just OJ visa. Countries are any visa free, no? Are SOG visa, no? We may go through quickly. Now I'm going to go as fast as possible. So their program not ever yet complete. And Nuntina may can't win. Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Angola, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Belarus, Benin, Bhutan, Bolivia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Burkina Faso, Burma, Burundi, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Central African Republic, Chad, People's Republic of China, Colombia, Comoros, Congo, Cuba, DRC, Djibouti, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Fiji, Gabon, Gambia, Georgia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Guyana, Haiti, India, Indonesia, Iran, Ivory Coast. Guyana is now non-visa national country. Omo updating omo system. Jamaica, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kenya, Korea, North, Kosovo, Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Laos, Lebanon, Lesotho, Liberia, Libya, Macedonia, Madagascar, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, Moldova, Mongolia, Montenegro, Morocco, Mozambique, Nepal, Niger, Nigeria, Oman, Pakistan, Peru, Philippines, Qatar, Russia, Rwanda, Sao Tome, and Principe, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, Serbia, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Africa, South Sudan, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Suriname, Swaziland, Syria, Taiwan, Tajikistan, Tanzania, Thailand, Togo, Tunisia, Turkey, Turkmenistan, Uganda, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, Uzbekistan, Venezuela, Vietnam, Yemen, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. All these countries these days, you need to get a visa to come to the United Kingdom. The question is, how long is the visitor's visa normally for? The standard one is up to 6 months and you have to go back. Then they also have 2 years, 5 years, or even 10 years. The cost depends because they charge in dollars in my country like Ghana and then they convert it. But you are looking at about £120 per standard. If you want to do a priority service, you pay about £500, about £250 to £500 extra to get it done that way. A 2-year visa is about £361. 5-year visa is about £655, and a 10-year visa is about £822. Now, you can come to the UK to visit as a tourist, as a volunteer, engage in business activities, engage in corporate activities, have business-based discussion, attend a course, or to visit a family. Once again, the key is that you must be a genuine visitor. How do you prove you are a genuine visitor? You can prove you have a genuine visitor if, for example, you have good record. Previous history is evidence. It will go in your favor. If you have strong ties and connections to your home country, everything that you do in your home country, try and gather evidence and bring it. So, for example, maybe you are a pastor in a church, a well-established church. You need to be able to bring evidence to prove that you are an ordained pastor, you are a credible pastor, not a fake one or not a joke one, but a true man of God. It's very, very, very important. Your travel history, if you have a car, if you have a property, if you have a wife, a husband, children, you have any dependents, all these are crucial that you can bring it forward to the board and basically do something about it. So it's very, very important that we are aware of this, your immigration history, and to prove your credibility. Any document that you present have to be genuine, no fake documentation. If you are living in another country, for example, yes, you can apply to come here to visit. So you are a Ghanaian living in Afghanistan and you want to come to the UK to visit. It matters not. As long as you have permission to be in Afghanistan, then you can also apply. So it shows that you are complying with the laws of that country. And therefore, when you come to the UK, you are also likely to comply with the laws of the United Kingdom. So you'll be seen in a good light. Your ties and links to the country will determine how strong your application is. The more you can show that you have personal ties to your country. So, for example, if you don't have any personal ties, then the reality is that they may think that when you come, you will not go back, especially if you are economically active age group, which is between the ages of 18 to about, say, 60. You are economically active, and therefore they may think that you may not go back. So it's very, very important that we are aware of these facts. Also, you have never overstayed your visa in the United Kingdom or anywhere else, or perhaps you don't have any travel history. If you don't have travel history, you can see it in a good light and also in a bad light. In a good light, in the sense that since you don't have any travel history, that means you have never traveled before, and this will be an opportunity for you to see new things, travel outside of your country and explore the world. You know, so you can put a spin on it and put yourself in a good light. On the flip side of it, you have never traveled before, and therefore there is no evidence to show that when you go, you will come back. So it's important that when you are spinning, when you are telling your story, you make sure that you tell your story in a persuasive manner. Sometimes people say that you don't need a lawyer to make this application. I've seen so many people run into justice and law after they have messed up. For us to do the dirty work and get them back on track. But when you are charging your decent money to, they cry that, oh, it's too expensive. Next time, don't go and do a mess out of it and bring it. If you come to us at the earliest opportunity, it's reasonable. But when you go and do the damage, and I have to come and do damage control and then build a case for you, you are doubling my resources. And therefore, I have to charge accordingly. And you best because we are dark with the menu they buy me pay scapa so especially £50 notes. I am in time per 20s any tens no because we go too for nana sikakoko will be fee enti sikakoko na mepe enti de meka no enti no so kona se kodu sika no mane sa me mama me ho e make stories in chire because stories no matia bre de bi amka sa asem we eni pam beba na be me na ye ma fans na ye, you know, me I don't buy them things. It's my sleepy. You say Ushasi a bruise on tema, and when you go contem. Now Bema so dear, on sin so many na haram. It's a daily dobeya, now a ba, now they are dark, justice and law. Ye the PBR are to ye amount, now afi and kofa a honchema. And send one can say, hey, Mammy Kumodi or ya dear ye. Now what you may call my soon bedroom. There be as I am a human here. And you want to see a as a charge, yes, a charge, as a charge the reasonable rate. Yet me a Juma Pamo, Sana etie, na the Biancasa same way. A Juma City, in Yakachia, and it's in our bar, yet money in our money, pay, Nessie talk. And it's in a so try a cano, yet me a Juma, may ye fake, now a sumo Joe. Never with a bro fee. Sanya. So the application is so that say, Wako baby na so dimrane so that by all means you can also use that. Or property, or cars, or ma, or kunu, or yere, nina fabem. Sa sorry bimpo na woman na we elder, we way, na say who play a key major role in the activities of the group. My group in insurance. I say elder event is a elder Wodro. You know, me a friend say elder, me na me lady kwe, and therefore no, I say your money time. I'm about holidays now. I'll call no about now. You know, all this stuff can come in. Sana etie, aye, we be say lawyer dakuni, aye lawyer dakuni we ni jam empeni say, I didn't the uboma bom pem na Emma ahomeka. e dia asundwe befi asemi do kan waka di pempe me fa nchia Bible class say the book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 19 or chapter 15 verse 19 o say na honam eda ni be ni pefe dia osoro empe eni mpapa mu kunsu etwitwa titire eni hwehwe ni mu ni mpapa mu o say Bible mpesa de no enti nipa de o kan asema na waka ni pempentim pen fa ne kra ye adwuma na obi ehu ba bia wugira enti na me bie mu saa no enti obi ba no be kase na me call ya da ko adwuma kakra wa ja ma me o so be gi me 10 pounds a o be ko be se nipa ni say e ba ni say stage be na case ni du ya o de ko ho no mo afi nipa ni bie mu a ana bo se se lo ya da ko me fi ni kra efo because over say no na wo de ba e ma adwuma ni ye den enti therefore no e ba ni sa so a damage awo akwakoye no afi na me ba be repair sa damage no and simple na start adwuma no e ba ni sa na say 1 hour investment there me use 1 hour to repair the damage and say na say use 1 hour there here adwuma no enti adwuma me dey 1 hour na be no say because of shortcuts and enti no ama you say ba be use 2 hours enti me ba be use 2 hours no and say me car na say no dey e money sa enkoyi na emi ekoya na say e bai mesusu menu ma bai sika kokko na mebe oti kokko so na be ne die me die ye mia anya mia o me hu sika pen me ti kokko so sa na etie enti no e ba ne sa na e ha atwene family ties o ma o yiri o kunu bla 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 ni nyina fa brem na ka ho asem aya ema application no eye die eye strong also enipa na ba be sra no se enipa no good recorder enipa ne maybe what they call responsible person anybody adwuma bia sebe is recognizer and so ni nyina no etibibua anybody minister of religion anybody accountant anybody doctor anybody lawyer anybody nurse anybody security officer registered with the SIA with a security badge. So all these are recognized professions. We use so a security officer offer the badge number and so registered with the security SIA authority, whatever, so all that stuff you put that in, with registration number 254 title, whatever, so that it adds credibility to what you are saying. If possible, then if I need photocopy of an SIA license, the cross ID account, or the passport account, or the tenancy agreement account, or the payslip account, or the bank statement account, council tax, or the account. What your letter if it in a equal table for meaning what your come. And two fees got to entry class officer anymore at the end of it. The entry class officer will be convinced. And your intentions when you come to the UK. What are you intending to do? Here no are very, very important. And I am preferably living vague. Obi on my intentions and also what you say, me babe seminia. Me babe seminia ya ba you. And also me babe seminia dakwa. And to babe sandi na mobe. You need to itemize these things. Ebia me babe seminia. First day, yebekwa, second day, yebekwa, third day, yebekwa, fourth day, yebekwa, fifth day, sixth, and so on and so forth. And maybe I'm the likely cost. Ebia yekohanuma, yebekwa theater, koshe ebia, Venom and the Rainrush scandal. No check it theater, how much it cost? It cost about £25, and that's the cheapest seat. And here too, it costs £50. Your cost is about you spend about £20, and that is £70 on the day out. If you for transportation, £10, £80 on the day. If your second day, there now be if your second day, over Justice and Law Office. About the Chester home office here, courtesy of Amway product. Now and also from Archway to Brixton, last stop, Victoria Line. Ebia your frat, because ye £3.70 nipa two, because ye ebia £6, whatever it may be. Now why itemize it? Now what trash your home. A day out on your way, over Brixton Library, I will call it Black history, and the contribution that the black people have done, in the United Kingdom. the story of Mary Seacole. People talk about Mary Nightingale. We talk about Mary Seacole, the woman who played an important role when it came to the World War and, looking after injured soldiers. How many people have heard about Mary Seacole? People don't want to know. People don't do research. Every time we only learn about what we are told. But sometimes you have to dig deep and go behind the curtain and see what is also there. And also the contribution made by people who are similar to you. It's very, very important. So these are historical sites. Because, for example, if you tell the entry clearance officer, I'll be going to Brixton Library, I am fascinated about the story of Mary Seacole and the role that he played in British life. Or perhaps I want to go to Brixton and go to Windrush Square. I want to feel it. How the Windrush generation, how they came to this country in the 1950s and 60s, and how they were treated. And you are fascinated about the square that is named after the Windrush generation, called the Windrush Square, and also to visit the library to learn about Black history, Black culture in the United Kingdom. So these are some of the things that you can put forward that you would do. Or perhaps you can say that I want to go to the British Museum and look at the stolen artifacts from Ghana, from Benin, from other African countries that is still sitting at the British Library. So these are the things that you can bring up if you want to visit these places, and roughly how much it's going to cost you. And these have got historical facts. Some of these things were stolen, they call it taken. They were stolen from Africa, brought to European countries, and these are being displayed in European libraries. So if you're an African and you want to come down and see these things, it will not be shocking because it is yours from the first place, only that it has been stolen or taken away from you, and you want to come to Babylon and also witnesses to see it for real that these things did actually happen. So these are historical facts. You cannot change it. It is not about believing, it's about knowing. Know your history so that when you come in and you are doing things, you can also look at all these. If you are running a business in your home country, and then yes, you have to get someone looking after the business for you, and also evidence that you are running a business. It's all very, very, very important that you are able to itemize all these. Adequate maintenance and accommodation. You must have sufficient monies that you are coming to spend. The money should be readily be available to you. You cannot say that I'm coming to spend maybe £5,000. Meanwhile, your account shows that you have only £2,000. It's impossible. So you need to be able to do the equation. Where you are coming to stay, who is giving you the accommodation? Once again, this is something that we also have to look at. And also, whether you can afford the ticket and the return journey back, whether you can afford it. And your overall stay location and so on and so forth. Your source of income, you need to cover all this. Third-party sponsorship, once again, the person has to come forward. Your relationship with the person, why the person is sponsoring you, and so on and so forth. You need to cover all this in your application and your representation. If your application is refused, most of the time you don't have the right of appeal, and that unless you can show that there are human rights implications. So if you have a strong connection with the person, and demonstrate that you can demonstrate that there's human rights element, then you need to say so on the application form and also on your submissions, so that in an event that the application is refused, you'll be given limited right of appeal, in which you could appeal against the decision and fight your corner. Bayadako, you've said a lot, you said enough. You are going to activate the telephone lines. If you have any question, by all means, you can bring in and ask. But before that, let me recap. Let me give a bit of information about, what do you call it, the work permit regime that is happening in the United Kingdom. As we know, from 1st of February, Ghana has been added to the list, i.e. in terms of teachers. So if you teach in Ghana, by all means, you can also teach in the United Kingdom. without passing the test first, you can do that. So before we can help you, before we can do anything for you, it's important that you yourself, you put in the effort and secure sponsorship. Lawyer Darko, unfortunately, I don't have control over the sponsorship element of the visa application process. All that I can do is to give you the lead. Once I give you the lead, you have to then go and push as much as you can to get a sponsorship. Once you get a sponsorship and you want us to help you with the application, by all means, we will do so. It's very, very important. By all means, we will do so for you. But what we cannot do is to give sponsorship to people or to lead people to get sponsorship. We simply don't have that facility. We simply do not have that contact. We simply do not have the means to be able to link you to anyone. So all that I would say is that you do the best that you can. The link that we have given you, the list that we have given you, do the best that you can and push as much as you can. Yes, you may face rejection. Sometimes that is life. Rejection is part of life. And sometimes you go in there, you don't succeed. That does not mean that you should not try again. Keep trying. Keep trying. You never know. When one door is closed, another door is open. You just have to keep pushing. And who knows? One door will open for you. And keep going on and keep hustling. No hustle will be in vain. It will only be in vain if you give up. So don't give up. Now, on your hope will be do as a woman. Line no atum number na yede edi dwuma no 07538 969 589 Na sanyu mo baby me de kra na say Meshach, Shadrach and Abednego. You need to jata nimu, you need to jata your friend is saying a jenimu and so a janet ni ansho de nyankopon ebeye no any father say ni intimi ense no so person offer our number 07538969589 yenye first caller our line so se offer na say engage a mesro na dia to so anybody free so na fast na wa free na chese ya phobia antentem and number one pepe edijumandie na ba na yiwie because me krama na ye wild SM did kombrika na afi me so me getting on with my life. Hello first caller, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Now patrol you say na ka say free.
Alex Wolverhampton.
Hey, Mayor of Wolverhampton. Ye kwani say. So bia ho ye de.
Nyamia de bia ho ye.
Ye de nyamia say. Na ye kwani say.
It's a British man ba kwa come. Omamena. We will come in and go back. American to go. The weather was say. And the justice the Lord here. Yes, all the water and the power. Again, couldn't be there, but you probably be very dear with you, but you will be our 10 back of a cat. I'll go get that. And we are the mother. Yeah, the Indian couldn't be. Yes.
Yes, so
I request the level of the Data Protection Act. Recently, and it's a camera really changed. And it's a company. I don't know if wrong with the other guy who are more area, Manoa correcting me. The reading Kakam and say, who would do company quality by Edmund, so only the Edmund and the other documents, the economy would do for basic 6 years, they sell more legally from system ratio. Now, company be for the past 10 years, they did my dad and now recently you say, course would be a big baby boss, will you frail no dad, will know details about it. In China, company be true me so. I'm explaining, say, I'm a hack your way, I'm going to the assistant, I'm a tempower, data beer, I'm part of it. But, Michelle, you know, 10 years ago, why do you still hold my information? I was a bit confused. You see, I responded to the email as at now, and I decided to take advice from you to see the way forward because. We can think about it now, or more regulating for me 10 years ago. Yeah. Now this year, you know. And you won't show what it's like.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, holding data per se, you know. You won't even say after 6 years, also delete, you know. Now, you the employer, no, and I say, who process data, no. Wuna by way of contract, you know, ube delete, you know, after 6 years. Adentina etesa because if it be limitation act, semi holding information, na se me adwuma bi ma na se ube sue me for negligent and na se o declare bi beba against me. You need to bring that within 6 years. It is a 6 years so na se one for bibia one for man court one make any claim against me. Any meeting ya wipe data me wo ewo ho on the basis he say there is now a limitation and therefore you cannot bring any claim against me. And nothing as our 6 years policy no retention policy no ewo ho no and on a policy and the law. And sometimes you say, you know, a misconception out there. Now I'm glad the person with this idea about up. Because you know be a crowd why you be say home office in po after 6 years, no more wipe more information. Now they could do money 50 years, 100 years, I'm telling you, they still keep it. But data protection says after 6 years, you know, you could clear it because you cannot keep information forever. The cost of keeping information, that in itself, you know, a headache. And therefore, no, because of the fact to say statute of limitation dictate say if you want to bring a claim against someone, you need to bring it within 6 years. If it's a personal injury, it's within 3 years. And therefore, no, after 6 years, no, if nobody makes a claim against me there, then what I can do is that I can wipe off the record. If you come to me to say 7 years ago, me a negligent, you don't have a case because of statute of limitation. You are barred from bringing a claim against me after 6 years. And until most companies are making it their policy, as after 6 years, you know, they may destroy your file without giving you any notice. Until lawyers are your closing letter, BBC, where we tell the applicant and they say, we are going to retain your data for 6 years. After the 6 years has expired, we will confidentially, damage it or maybe get rid of it without giving you further notice. And information in there, they can keep it forever as long as they protect it. Similarly, police, the same thing. Obi wa commit offense. O free say offense was spending time and therefore a prepare for the criminal record. And nipa ne beko no akwakoye standard DBS. Obon say ohun hwe wo so. Ebi obedu we no akotwa ntro so ni criminal record. No mo akwakoye enhanced one na akwakoyi aba. Afi na assign opportunity. And unfortunately 6 years near a policy and adapted. They have adapted that policy on the basis of statutes of limitation. As after 6 years, you cannot bring a claim against the individual. And therefore, someone hold information. Yes, but if they are abusing the information that they have, and you are not giving them any consent, then you can take them on. But the question is, how do you know? How can you be so sure? Say, sa and crofono, and this data, but who suspects say your woman? And Tom will be a man. Okay. And normally, say who hold you data, and that will be breaking into your system. By convention, it is only right that you write to those people involved and tell them what has happened so that they can be alert against fraud. And since you can ask them, where did you get this information from? Why? Eboa said the awuye bibi I won't say a coin befaso. All right, that's it. Bye. Hello. Okay, dependent me nyina so. Also wait me afre. Mo na mu gina so ya me ntimi afre nyina we dey mesre mo. Line is so hot. Na obi aso fra ni dey hu nya nti ese e fa no. Okay. Hello. Hi, good morning to you.
Good morning, Lawyer Dako.
Good morning. Now, Patron, I can say, Nadine, they say, I can say free. Hey, Portsmouth, one of four. Yeah, couple. Mr. Mitchell, why? Yes, no more power. And Papa Mugo said, I know the Michelle Gravity. And Abraham Yami, Lawyer Dako, Yamishano, on the Nasifuina, Yamishano, Yaminakase, Onyakase, no Mayakase, I'm a fool for Onyakase, hey, Radiyame, Maru, Lawyer Dako. Who said Yamu? Say your board, dear. Sometimes what you are with you can feel the vibes. And I know, sir, I am protected by the Spirit of His Majesty. No doubt about that. Because in such a by name, ene akwan Yakopon fa so eyi free meche man ye nyansa ema ye kwan no ayana ebro menti ase so eno dey I have to say na enipa bom pa ye time echi no omo doso ese enipa omo pe omo pemiye put it this way.
Oh, I don't care. Definitely, anything you will not see of the people.
Empire Dawson. Ah, Yamisha is so Dawson. Sure, and easy. Oh, hey, send me phone so Yamisha, 70 bed one day, and I said, me watch them one betty shock. A good bit VTS, I halfway, I must switch it off. And the Mitimu Yamadodo. Hey! Yeah, the Yamia say. Who say Yami womb? May not be semi yellow. Me, yeah, Monkey say me yellow. I don't want to do law. And so, me show me life. Now me they compare Jonah the Enibia. The Yamiso Bayano. Hey. Opa kwashe form a poise obeji oba mo bare enti me majuma bi ye calling enti no one can bring me down unless God.
No. If I don't try to with me.
You're calling because empire ye bota bechi no anu odin. Sure, with me so me phone. O hini David ye nyame shira onye okese eni na Musa afi nyame to sa na I am overwhelmed. The love and the support that I get from people. Monkoso. Say, what's there for this one? You know, home here. It needs some more Juma home. Why? To Monkoso. Sa. Madam must be brave. Manenko.
But I thought the money, all about this of starting from a 17 years ago. And I saw you 70 about. And about the district and and I may find out saying, so, or you have to do these invitation letters to go to all the district process and I said, there's something she can do just to, because in South America, you know, there was the time she did it without any invitation stuff yet. You know, that is find out the house, you know. You say this, you can do away with invitation and get there and so on. Start to go through the same process.
Also go through the same process again because every application Biano is treated on its own merit. Until unfortunately, also go through the long process again. If you at this time no apply, if you apply for 10 years, said the year 10 years visa now, a be money time will with me acquire whenever he wants, rather than so back to any queue all the time, every 6 months.
Yeah, okay. The last was the 5 years one. 5 years one, yeah, you know. And like we were thinking of last year when she had to renew her US visa, she didn't go through all this invitation process and stuff. It was done on something based. It was a very simple and straightforward one.
Yeah.
So then we find out if they had the visa or what, and she will still have to go through this old process.
I say I had a different from a lot of countries. You know, we go through the same process now, the same rituals now, and then when your baptism. Why? There's an application, a war but no, to be honest, I don't recommend to anyone. They find an adult dependent relative application. Obey your day, home farmer. That is the problem. Until that's a home here across over. Yeah.
And I read the pastor, they found the card, you know, that the catcher said time limit I think 6 months and not 5 months at the time. And then you find out for this the home office here now.
Why be your home office fee now?
And they got a indefinite card, you know. She's got indefinite already. my card no, and then expires 2024. You know, if you have to renew the card, and also do we have to book a home office application?
The strange thing is home office. Make announcement is say indefinite. Na say renew card and so babeje card na ini se mutua.
Okay.
My application am any pay to baako de se ma ye ntua baako de je 75-25. Enti odwene ho it does not make sense. And to the functional you say there will be a fee to pay. Or ye na say simple ntua. Fair enough. What you sort to say? Sir, yeah, that's if he, yeah, Fado to us. No problem. Yet, yes, so you're ready, a train. Sanity, just as a lot of possible for 40. It is about finding for. Aye, well, sanity. Yes, that was for your continual support over the years. What was why? Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, Pacho did this and I can say free.
So your friend, I come and make a free. Tunbridge West.
Mr. Hart from Tunbridge West. Sorry, where did I watch it? I drew see uncle.
My glass are I have. The question is out of context, but won't change me.
Okay.
My mother, I won't tell one more indefinite leave to remain. But one by you said 2 years need. And people won't apply for university. During the process, and won't be almost say, woman status. And I almost say, one more indefinite leave to remain. But only a EU family member. And to one more request, say, EU family member say, the actual say, only a EU family member. But to one passport, to listen say Ghana passport, I'm sure they need Ghana passport to anything. And to me, I'm convinced. And I'm going to say, Obama, I'm a EU family member. I find it difficult to say on this. The moment now, or more, maybe account. And I almost only made me 3 years. And then I can't say, you who said, yeah, quite not there, but into no, you know, I can say, which you are, or one can not let you know, or one can something that 3 years. Now, or mono, I for their own. And next year, a buffer during the process, and no big, I say, almost I say, one year, EU family member, now say, and we have said next year, no more, yeah, or the EU family member, no, if I check for us. I'm a bit confused. I say, okay, maybe Sana.
They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice in the sense to say, visa make it all one. And you're very clear, said they are family members of EU nationals, and not in the man. And if visa alone shows that there is a link between the individual and the European Union, and the visa tells a story. And the rules, in terms of eligibility and the student finance, because me sure say student finance as okay, student loan.
Yeah.
Because university they don't care, they will take you. But in terms of the finances, who's going to pay the school fees, how you are going to get a loan, you have to do it yourself through the student loan company. And that is a separate thing. Now, OSHA eligibility requirement now, what's it say we a EU family member, then you have to be living in the United Kingdom for 3 years.
Yeah.
And now, what's it say, indefinite leave, or you are a British national, that one, they mean if you have obtained indefinite leave under the old British immigration rules, and you don't have to meet the financial requirement. And it's our settlement scheme, our media bay, who's Andrea normally buy. na some rules we na ewo ho before say settlement scheme ne e ba na omunya update no enti I create a bit of confusion enti no I would suggest to you say on train Emma 1 year meka ho na nye 3 years because it makes it very clear say if you have been granted a visa as a result of being a family member of an European national, then you have to be here for 3 years. And even that, if your parents are still married, this is the key, then they have to take into consideration the household income to do the calculations as to how much student loan will be given to the applicant. Now, I have to be careful, no, because my parents are divorced. They bring divorce certificate. My parents are separated. One say a home office. Now parents, omunya indefinite. I have home office bedroom. I can say, your information say, my warrior is hitting the rocks. And therefore, we are considering of revoking your visa, especially if the parent, one of them, does not have indefinite. And amount for very careful. Because they say home office, all organizations need share information. Why share it could pay free baby afina kofa semabro. And caution have to be exercised. If it's household income they want to take into an account and the parties are still married, get the evidence, give it to them, and have your peace of mind in the end.
Oh, okay. And that means, like I said, next year, or they can do by their own, or a bra. And one much you are still in marriage.
And if the children's parents are still married to one another, a chromwa yefiri means tested. Means tested means se o kwa kopeske fi abanwo anase aban agency biawa. E wo so hwe awofo no musika mo je na afi bia. Enu no mugina so de calculation say ye be ma kojoba £10 and I say money £20 based on the parents' income. And in order to do the assessment, I was say parents and more evidence of their income eba no major calculate.
Okay.
Tisana kwa.
Okay.
I hope it answers your question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yes. Mwana mo frɛ ayenti bi afa no musu betimi afrɛ say the one pa abonti efa 102 course bi na yemfa dwumadie no emra na wie. Musu betimi afrɛ. Number here 07538 969 589. It's exactly 1 o'clock. We're gonna be bringing the program to an end. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, lawyer.
Hi, good afternoon to you. Nampacho Dini Senaka Frame.
I say from Nana Yam Cafe Friday.
Nana Yam from Mitchell, Yanko.
Yeah. Pacho lawyer, me a British citizen, me now person me this person me application member for naturalization like British passport. Now Pacho no process no it's the same.
Bana na ukita indefinite and say na uni indefinite.
Me wo no na me wo my British.
Ana akra no wa hefa.
Ghana.
Okay. Enti obeye passport application ama obano from Ghana. So obanda so Ghana me boa.
Pacha Ghana.
Aye. Enti no obeko British HMPO, Her Majesty's Passport Office, overseas application, and then you follow the instructions from there.
Okay. I remember when maybe that and no process, any visa, no, and the
a basic same dia passport no emugo kakra. Nemo process abe femuno emo shikakra. But in the end, you know, yeah, guy do and I say, we make a crack afraid there, because so come. We will take the stress from you.
I never.
Yeah. Interview you know, baby.
Okay.
DNA crash so possibly beat me up.
Okay.
And to ban yet we will strategize it. Personally, I may pay me any man and per content. To me, many panning be busa and away. When you be busa, no, I mean in our preco. Into your qua, not a bantam, no asumajo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'm Martin to
know.
That's right.
Okay. And that's it. Bye bye. Yeah, fellow scholar, yeah, fellow getting man and beer. One more call, and we come to an end. My name is David Darko, Justice and Law Solicitors, 35B 49 Afro Road, Brixton, London, SW2, BZ, 07538 969 589 0207 993 5976. Hello, the last caller. Good afternoon to you. Nyankopon Adam, ye jina so say eyi na Taliban no. That's right. That's right.
I not lawyer, but that was the mammy now, what you won't choose, no, now, Peno. Why, papa, the mammy, my own, no choose. The lawyer there will tell drama. I need 20 power drew. Uncle Paul, and I come again or to do. I drew what told Yamma. I mean, he are down here to Mamma. Papa, I didn't draw the Mawa. For what year never read you so. Never share a drew and some cry about me, lawyer. What do you say? A man and nails now what you said. The fact I drew it, and I may share, in fact, more rent to one and more recipe. I'm running more than a fool. It's in the watch I know if one of us. One must say that the end was a no. And I'm a more recipe, and I'm a true, and I'm a fire, and I'm a lie, will be the touch him. What's the sign? I'm say yes. And to me, Mano, I'm Sanka. And the same time, who be enough for now or Yako. Instead of 30 pounds, I'll be piano. And some out to 15 pounds. Which is that is 1.5 of the price.
That's right.
Yes, but I'm controlling. The man of home almost 8 money. More than a fool. Another more than to say, it's a buy the same food. And in between, you know, I said the new food. I should not be on the part. Not try, you know. An artificial idea.
Natural beauty.
Yes, natural. As far as when you say, what's all bad. Now, when you put on, because I drew our panel, I just found what you know, and no shape, no. And it's a mammy or far, and yet I will find what that. Who finds what is so nothing. I'm going to and
that's right.
Yes, it is right. I'm one teacher, no matter if you already sure. And blood pressure, diabetes, blood pressure. Now, a so about fast one. Because you see, I don't know my air personal. And next, I wish they GP. But before I say, oh, my inside wall. Appointment with the Guayam Kukumau. Now, consultation out of the casa. For sure, Casa, when they hear now. Well, before I say, have you measured your blood pressure? How much is your blood pressure? As I say, what we catch and say, 130 over 80, 130 over 90. So that's why we went to measure. Now, if your blood pressure is 200 over 90, that is not too high. 180, you go too high.
Yeah.
Went to me and China. You know, when I cut out phone, so what's in my mouth? I'm doing it on the phone. It is a beer, and then I will measure. Nothing what drop or feel what I know that you say. My blood pressure is this no figure. And you never had your black coffee. I check me blood sugar. It is all normal now, lawyer. What the buy and I want to make it, and me blood sugar machine, a so I want for sure. You are wearing a pino. The next time you have a program, and you have a chibia, the kappa, me nebi, now we need beer, a bet wow, a bet farmer, cheapy frewa, what you may what should be being a crowd of I'm our show because I never. Lawyer, Yami and you almost consultation on the phone. I hope I am a woman. You know, dear consul, to Mammy, Mauna swing and beauty, I'm a slow. They could choose to ask Papa and lawyer. A day Mauno, number more dear Nomna, who calls you up. Papa, I told you, Lamau, so that's a very nice man. They have to know, lawyer. Maybe a very nice man.
Yes.
So, it's all like we have to get your teacher. Near na abia no so be nshira abai no ya meta was bebre na me nshira no tunkwam abia wa ya mama me no me ya so pa me nshira why
ameda wasifi oh we sorry oh mami wa frache na me say the friend back sa free game hello. Hello. Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Well, I'm back here. Good afternoon. I'm home to say.
Nyankopon adom boko. Nampa choma na ka say.
Lawyer, so we put me voice again and just say me just through.
Mehu pa na e ga say etiefo tie omunimu. Enti no ubo dia no omu.
Yeah, friend me coffee. Make us a free effort.
Sa
ma me to so adonko.
Ma me donko ba. Nyame adom na wo so e.
Me adom.
Ahade boko eja yesi nim kra yebusa.
For the game about London is a Nika say, Mammy, the London voice Nika say.
Because the shop phone number the class are changing. We say it, you know, we say, hey, maybe say, well, you mean, person like a savvy brain now, let's say a man for free. They declare a medal as if it be. If I say, Miami.
Now, you can't lawyer, sir, you will lawyer more over. Now, also about pushing now who said you are. Now, if you would be saying in our
Sa.
As in, let me be home for the first time. Now, since then, but this other said me, will be color and I'm a mood near Yakupan Casani with Yamika.
Serious.
I know that Yamia Dominia Belman, so no, what aroma. They say, oh, no friend who bogas to see your back or you keep up. To me, I'm fair program, so I'm catching my dear way once and one up. I'm not being fair to you because you've been one of the greatest lawyers I've ever worked with and I've ever known. Oh, you care.
Hallelujah.
Hey, lawyer.
Now, Papa,
lawyer said that I saw more when you know about no minimum, but I bet me one lawyer bet you that so down.
Hey, Yamiado.
Yamia said, the Yanko Poncha would be normal winning gaining answer now, one dear Juma between the eye. No, be Pia with young way Pia, and anytime Pia Nipan about which may they have one. To me, Frewana made a minimum bushia, that was it. Oh, Jumapa, why your mammy name us so in because a young mamma, me, you know, lawyer, Michelle.
Unia no me and so. And you,
we have a this way. It has to be prepared. I'm sure, lawyer.
Me so many so pa me damasi. Now be kind. And you big deal. That's right. And you big deal. Miss me damasi. Bye bye. We dear, Masumo. Yada nyami ase. I said obi biara wo digidie. E hyenimu eba justice and law ase. Nyankopon ma yedi nkonim na enkoye nim go ase na etire ente a yenya echeso yesuso de ye bekoso aboye homodin bia na obi biara obeba yaso ye bebo ye homodin ye be wisu ahomodin eni nyansa na yetimi dia bo nipa no na akwantu mu nsem ye ka ne duonim ba ko fa akwa hu odansini wo hen enye easy eja ko ni mo kan nasem osese obi bi wa brochi ape bibi mane no na sa akwantu no ana enye easy obi ti kromu a sebe do di betwa plane ticket akofie kura onya nko be kofie na oye de kofie okwa enye yie ana otena so a enye yie obi di hye ababe baby akwa enisi na be adakon me de mafasi me ho so se meye mafamu die mebo me homoden obi biara ohia moa especially immigration and nationality akoye how akoye kodanda abeda nipa ne so se obeboye prumunku ade na se betimi aboa ye be ya famu die na ye de aboa nipa no na kwantu mu nsem ye kanide onim justice and law and the jumete ibrahim ye number eye 0207 993 5976 and I say 07538 969 589 ye were Brixton London say offer Victoria line eye last stop saso na kokko baby na say anye ya justice and law ye legal last stop immigration and nationality and no dear obi agya to no ese kromo a obi antimi ntakalo ye yeso case ma ye boy homoden ye fight aye de ese ye bia na de asundwe e de serie ebre enipa no eni na bosua na mompa wo so amobody tie chi aya na emre pi no mpani se obi bodi mpa wonte gise waka ho asembone na we ada kwande me de bukofo go me din pa mete pa because sometimes you can feel it prayers and for a bomb any asempa enipa kafa wo me de mete pa and I appreciate it and it's na megina sa de we so mama Joyce Kumi mebo abaso o ma obi etwa ekwan all the way from Leicester na enipa be so begina fon so busa question what's a massa pay onye na dwuma sa se wo peni ye dia se adaje ne ko nanim na wo se adaje mana on se adaje atie o na in the end no bibia akoso kama mami ese adaje sebe mami mponya Ghana ni ofri ya yemianom alata omanmu o se na daje every coach it take about 3 to 4 hours from Leicester to London. Obayo betina many miss me adaje man. Me immigration history you could be able to. Ana de so ye bia ma kire ne de onye. Na menim say obeba be ka kire say oda wase pa say o man ko ba bia e de sebe eni asomdua abre no. Na most of the time no say me gina phone so na me busa questions. Me busa questions no. Aya emwa. Adenti na emwa because me so begina phone so me ni me ho adaji enti at the back of my mind you know who spend 2 minutes gonna make us pay or ha me enti me pentem I will just speed you up me nya time ma wo phone me so because obi atwa 2 to 3 hours abetina manima me ya de ka cho nya kwese won twen wo ase begina phone so na me kan se bo kire wo enti sadi pa no onona ese minya time man because when they book appointment for that slot anything na da ko edu bia me pe e de kakra no enye de me pe no de ka me pe ne sen ko bia frank make me na kasa na ka do nya ko pe me de ama no enso so ye de sa enye yi because obi ase na daja betina wani ma eso so say na daji na wo di church ni mum emanipa no na e de asundwie ene ahoto ebre nipa no anything that sometimes no o pemia ayana din no so bi anya na daja betina wani ma na so anya daji ahwe na mana sumu agye no entietiefo e be shrepi sade na wo pese wo ye ne hu hia wa se adaje na bra yese be se adaje de ahwe ama ne de asundwie abro enti justice and law solicitors ana moti ye nkan na wo twi se na Nyankopon de chee ya e be se hie biem e wo agofama ne so de wo bia so update bi wo bia no ye de bebrem sese so de any update bia no make short video na me akwakoto justice and law solicitors TikTok page And in Facebook, said they are all the time, no, we will keep ourselves posted of latest development in UK law. Not only about immigration and nationality, but we will do the best that we can and cover UK law, all areas. As soon as say you alert now, you better who short audio, now so yeah, the abramo. Tell you, my ever the way, make our way in cattle. Employment tribunal, now say our case be called court. Obiye nyamye juma. Or say the person say he's been called by God. It's a God's calling. Now say a drew baby dear. And your God's calling be or say or your employee. A man in the case called court. Now employment tribunal ne conclude say Obia was in Yakupa for say be a juma no. And yet a juma a year employment and employee relationship. And for that reason, you know, any case, you know, was dismissed. And the woman says, "What's in your coupon for us? Who you yam yajuma?" Now, so if he said, "It was a chair worker as an employee, and from day one, sorry, not my trustees, you know, and my employment contract. Now, who said it's an employment relationship? Say, Omafa as a worker, there, and also so get some contract written down." That is a worker relationship. Say you for 0-hour contractor, get some written stuff done. Because in the absence of any documentation, you know, say who claim who say your God's calling any said because God's calling in Triaka and your employee and employer relationship. Until idea I was saying free money. Until any updates we are made the bebre. Now, what for Sabako or say on any birthday, Emerson come here, refino. Baby fire. Happy birthday to you. Aye, Yakopo inshallah on shore, so now so on your case. Now, on me a quaima, not this year, Miss Biaso sono. 80 a now, when say Yamo, Yamidu and him, Yamidu Chi, Obama, all the protection in all that you do. Happy birthday to you. Bianca Samofa say, aka Baby Fire. Sana etie. Every Saturday, be on a pebia. I say, Mommy, Uncle is on TV. Turn on the TV. Obe how I gonna say until say, Obey the Ube tune in. Richard the phone. Happy New Year to you, and welcome on board, and thank you for joining us live on Facebook. Justice and Law, Namoti and Kay. Nana Akosia Jankroma Ofori Ata the first. Or say lawyer bako pe baby I will be so ye chia. Hey, Shina Kwaku, also so Osha Honomo. They say we na munyi mumpie, but we say bebre a dodge. Mr. Toto. Also baby I will be ye chia. Sasuna Edwin Titi Latte. Also baby I will be ye chia. Emmanuel Sean, Mr. Amway, also so ye chia. Cynthia Ofe Ado Buaku. Also so ye chia baby I will be now Turkey Clotefield baby I will be also so ye chia. Whenever Charles P. Aboa baby I will be also so ye chia. Absalam Ben Abdallah also baby I will be a chia. Papa Kwame, good morning to you. Akwesi Anochi also so baby I will be a chia. Michael Aqua, yes baby I will be a chia. May the Lord Almighty God bless you. Yakopon Israel on your kese obi kan ye yesi de ofrudua pa no ono na ye piano na de oye asopa no de oye bia soso no esi niye na akokọ a obe nini ana ewe abebesere sana ewiase netie. Beatrice Boache was the best lawyer in the UK. We love you all the way. Yes sana tie yes ye domo ye yakopon soso ehia mu nyina Kwame Peche baby I will be as a church from Kwame Owusu was Oja. I am listening. Yes. Kingsley Ajekum, baby I will be also see a chia. Esther Bochiwa also see a chia. Mr. Alexander Ofosu, Eva Odro, Santa Cruz also so win a chia. John Techi was the best lawyer in the UK. Ampa Sanitier, Mame Kate Owusu Donko, aka Kofi Mame, Sankwa Kofi Diakeni Din. Also, maybe I will be a church Pentecost fire. Aha. They say, we are landing so dear. Nice, we are happy family. More enjoy. Namu watch it. Sunday, we are no etie. Abena Chain Mensa, baby, I will be as a chia. William Asari, Yankopo Inshana on your case. Entino, next week, your best side SCB. Lawyer Darkon, David Darkon, Justice and Law Solicitors. Your ward 35B 49 Efra Road, Brixton, London, SW21BZ. Your number once again is 0207 993 5976, and I said 07538 969 589. Many Yakupon Eja Obi Biara Monte Monfa Yumi Echichere More Monfa Yumi Enya inspiration Monfa Yumi encourage mo na menim say Yakupon be hwe na eso ye be say ehie biem next week makramo mo bye.